in local media. Well, joining me now is Oron Schwartz, civil and criminal litigation expert and founding partner at Schwartz, Narkis and Company, a legal firm here. Thank you for joining us, Oron. Now, as I said, the number of people now apparently going to be charged in this incident, much less originally reported, perhaps a reflection of some of the legal complications that could be in this case. Maybe talk about that. Start with the fact we have a victim, a minor we know who's been reportedly traumatized by the event and was heavily intoxicated during the assault. Does that make it more difficult for police and the authorities to prosecute?
Well, as far as criminal defense attorney is concerned, then I would suggest that the other suspects might have snitched one upon the other. But I think one of the two issues that as a criminal attorney I'm concerned about. One of it is, when I read the talkbacks, when I read the responses over the media, and people here in Israel are calling for making shaming and death penalties and executions and lynching people in the center of the city. This is part of a most violent atmosphere. Then when we deal and we try to denounce such kind of a political and such kind of atmosphere, then we can't really point a finger at these people and say, they're part of a wrongdoing and part of a bad part of civilization. But the other thing I'm concerned about is what we call trying to avoid someone of taking a felony outside, and I'm most concerned about that.
Well, I don't understand what you mean by that.
Well, this is very rare.
No, well, let's talk about it. You're talking now about the fact that they're planning to prosecute some of the young people who took part in this event for failure to prevent it, that they were there, they witnessed it. In some cases, we have reports they filmed it, and they're going to be prosecuted for, is it failure to prevent the crime, a felony?
Yeah, that's a misprision of felony, and it's a very rare offense.
How, is there a precedent for that in Israel on sexual assault cases?
Not as far as I'm concerned. I think one of the historical cases in Israel that involved this kind of felony was during the Galamir trial. And Margalit Shefi was indicted and found guilty in that offense.
Right. She was someone who was told about the plan to assassinate Rabin.
Exactly.
Did not take active part in it, but did not alert the authorities.
And it's a very problematic offense because someone is considered to be a part of the legal system. You make him part of you make him a snitch. You make him someone who has to report the police. And in the liberal society, in a democratic society, this is something which has to be thought about.
But at the same time, Oron, this is how cases, especially in cases where the victim is, for various reasons, cannot give reliable testimony, police and authorities do need to use a tool like this in order to get testimony about what happened.
When it's a tool, it's okay. But as giving evidence, it's okay. But when you take someone and you indict him for that kind of felony, that is quite problematic and quite rare, because it's some kind of a slope. Because when you begin indicting people in such felonies, you would find yourself...
But how much of it do you feel this is a reaction perhaps to the incident in Cyprus that occurred last year, where there were a number of young people? Now, there were no charges brought in the case. It was said the testimony of the woman was unreliable. But again, there were people watching there and maybe encouraging in a problematic situation. Shouldn't those people have some kind of liability?
Well, it's a very good question, but I think that the Cyprus case made lots of rage. And this rage...
in Israeli society.
Yes, was unsatisfied. And when you have unsatisfaction of rage and you can't indict people, and when you meet the first case that you could do something about it, it looks like that. And for me as a defense attorney, that's quite problematic, because I couldn't say anything good about people raping. That's a horrendous crime,
all right,
for all reasons. But trying to locate everyone and arrest everyone that was in the vicinity of it, That's something that has gone too far, to my opinion.
That's your opinion as a defense attorney, Oron, but clearly there is a need, a feeling, a sense that some kind of maybe example has to be made so that next time this happens, people will not just stand by, but they will take some action.
Yes, but it depends on what are the borders of taking action. Does anyone of just being a friend? And I heard some, rumors like everyone did in the social media about her girlfriends not coming up to the hotel room to see what's going on with her. Should they be indicted as well? This is going too far.
Well, we don't know the circumstance of the case, but of course that will have to be adjudicated there in the courtroom. Oron Schwartz, thank you for joining us on
you, sir.
The